Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers, welcome. So today's feminine school video is a highly requested one and is all about the often highly coveted and often highly desirable alpha male. Now, before I get started, this video is not an attack on beta males or men who are not alpha. This video is about helping women to understand the key differences in the hierarchies of men, and a man who is a beta male does not necessarily mean that he is a weak one or an undesirable one. It simply means that he is not the natural born alpha. Now, the alpha male, who is not as common as women would like to believe that they are, is basically a man who naturally sits at the top of the food chain of durability and strength, and is a man who naturally sits on the throne and the hierarchy of dominance in the world and in the realm of men. And the word alpha literally means dominant or dominance. However, alpha does not mean indestructible. Alpha men can be as broke as they come, and alphas can also be beat and bested and outsmarted. And like all other hierarchies of men, alpha males are a spectrum, which means they are not one size fits all. And important to note before I start this video are that Hollywood depictions do not make a man an alpha. That is called acting. Now, the true alpha male is not to be confused with boss energy or financial success or societal stature, like being born into wealth, or aggressive energy or assertive energy, or predatory energy, or energies that attempt to mimic or copy or manufacture the power of natural dominance. The alpha male is a born dominant male who possesses superior and or higher than average strength, and the alpha male can be a boxer, a wrestler, a bouncer, a security guard, an NFL linesman, and they are men who are usually muscularly dense and full of brawn, and are men who are considered physically intimidating to other men. Now, dominance can be manipulated and manufactured and mimicked or mentally strategized through deception and subterfuge. And a man can pretend to be a dominant alpha. And in the realm of men, there are many alpha male pretenders, particularly here on YouTube. But a true alpha is not made, a true alpha is born. And a man cannot read or study or fake his way into being an alpha, because alpha energy is dominant energy that simply just is. Now, an alpha male is more than just about having a domineering physical presence. They are men who other men will think twice or three times about physically challenging or stepping up to or squaring up on, because very few men will ever try to challenge an alpha male in any physical arena unless he has a gun. So, simply put, an alpha male is what I call a man's man, and he is a man who naturally gets other men to physically fall back. And alpha males usually have a larger than life commanding presence mixed with the natural ability to impose their will and, when necessary, to bend the will of others. The X factor that makes a man a true alpha is what I call believability and having that unmistakable it factor. Because when it comes to determining whether a man is a true alpha or not, you will know it when you see it with the naked eye. So, in other words, an alpha male would never be puny or short or skinny or petite or lack body mass, because alpha energy is an undeniable presence. Now, ladies, all men will have challengers when it comes to the realm of power. But when it comes to a true alpha male, there is an unshakable aura of power and authority that is enforced, and it just comes off naturally. Now, alpha pretenders are men who usually resort to attention seeking tactics and resorting to imposter syndrome and chihuahua barking with women to mimic dominance. Alpha pretenders are also men who resort to manipulation tactics as a means to an end to garner respect and admiration from women. Pretender alphas are also men who talk way too much, and they are men who are more about talk than they are about action because they are trying to mimic alpha power and they are trying to mimic alpha dominance, which is very important to men who are deathly afraid of being viewed as weak, which is why guns and weapons are very important to men, and which is why most men will try to make themselves appear more powerful than they actually are. And is the main reason why superhero movies are so important to men, because superhero movies, ladies, are fantasy projections of strength. Ladies, true alpha men do not seek approval, nor do they shrink or cower to anyone, and there is a natural believability in their manhood that doesn't have to be forced or manipulated, contrived, or manufactured. Now, when it comes to alpha men, women are naturally inclined to follow their lead as they are men who naturally inspire safety and stability and security and strength. And more importantly, most women are wired to want their male offspring to have those same powerful characteristics and or qualities genetically passed down to their male heirs and or offspring, so that their offspring and future generations will have a better chance at survival. Now, although alpha men are not naturally weak men, it doesn't mean that they are always successful or that they aren't capable of being damaged or toxic. All hierarchies of men are capable of being toxic and damaged and unsuccessful. But an alpha male, on average, will never blame a woman for his lack of masculinity, and a true alpha male would never waste his time to create entire channels on YouTube that are solely dedicated to griping about women morning, noon, and night. Men who make moves like that, ladies, are inferior and weak men. Now, for clarity purposes, because I know that a lot of women often tend to confuse successful men with alpha energy, but there are many men who are successful but who are not alpha males. Kevin Hart is a successful man, but he is not an alpha male. He is actually a successful runt. And Michael Jordan is not an alpha male. He is actually a successful boss and a man whose mindset is solely dedicated to winning. Alpha energy, to be clear, is about physical dominance, and alpha men can either be successful or they can be in prison, as there are many dominant alpha males who are currently in the prison industrial complex. So, classic examples of men who are naturally alphas are Suge Knight and Mike Tyson and Tom Hardy and LeBron James and Gerard Butler and Evander Holyfield and Shaquille O'Neal and The Rock and Idris Elba and Tyson Fury and Muhammad Ali. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Alpha men are men who are naturally dominant, and alpha energy is pretty easy to spot and easy to detect, as they are naturally physically dominant men who inspire fear and intimidation in other men, and are men who are perceived as a dominant physical threat. So, ladies, now it's your turn. Is the alpha male your kind of male, or are you okay with a high functioning beta male? Let me know what you liked or didn't like about this video below, and stay tuned for more feminine school videos to come. And I will catch up with you, ladies, and you ear hustling lurkers in the next one.